It's nice when reviews line up with my actual needs. Okay, this is a little bit outside my normal review wheelhouse, but I'm retiring an old Rocket keyboard and mouse, a combo lovingly inherited from my sister from another Mr. Trisha Hirschberger. Now, I liked that combo, but it was time to move on. MSI recently reached out and asked if I wanted to take the new GK50 Elite for a spin, and I paired it with one of their clutch GM30 gaming mice. I am not the hardest of hardcore gamers, but I really like clacky tactile keyboards, and this is my first experience with Kale Blue switches. MSI is walking a fine line between gamer-fueled hardware design and a practical board for data input. The brushed finish under the keycaps is a nice accent, which isn't garish. I kinda like the oversized font on the keycaps, and for a board with the number pad, it maintains a smaller overall profile on my desk. These days I do more typing than gaming at my main workstation here, and the chunky spacing between keycaps was appreciated for function as well as lighting. I think a wrist rest is a necessary add-on when considering a board like this. I don't find typing fatiguing, but I definitely needed a wrist cushion. As a brief aside, MSI does sell one. They included it with my review unit, and it's nice and squishy. I still enjoy the visual of per key RGB lighting, even though I tend to keep my layout fairly simple for most interactions. There's a huge amount of customization capable, but really digging in means managing profiles through desktop software. This shouldn't really be too surprising, but depending on your RGB setup, it's still kind of a pain running multiple apps to control device lighting. There's some consideration for managing lighting on the board, but it's pretty basic. I do appreciate the lucky dragon key for functions and additional actions. It's hard using regular keyboards that don't have similar options. But I suppose we should probably talk about the switches. This is a mechanical keyboard, and I've not spent a lot of time with Kale outside of some brief test driving on Newegg videos, but I kinda dig the feel and sound here. Now, this is a sharp tick clack with a softer chunk return. And the actuation of the switch lines up really well with the audible activation of that switch. Where we would compare against cherry switches, I'd be hard-pressed as a more casual gamer to highlight one company as an outright winner. On a switch like this, I can imagine where the most reactive, hardcore competitive gamers might find the return action a little too slow. I'm kinda reaching here, but multiple rapid successive keystrokes, maybe? The return sound is softer, so it's possible that you might not fully return the switch before trying to reactivate it. That concern is definitely on the pickier side, because I don't game anywhere near a level where that could possibly affect me. I'm gonna die just as easily in most games, regardless of what switch is on my keyboard. I just prefer this sound and feel, this combination under my fingers, and I like the dual audio and tactile confirmation of key actuation. I feel a little lost on softer keyboards until I really get a feel for them. The GK50 is upfront about telling me when I've done it right. Now, this will be an annoying board to use around other people though. And I absolutely have to mute my microphone when I need to type something out during a Zoom call or when I'm on a live stream. You of course get a keycap tool in the box. It seems like these switches will support aftermarket caps designed for cherry switches. I'm feeling pretty solid on Kale Blue. Now, keeping the aesthetic consistent and pairing this with a clutch GM30, it's a great combination to replace my old Rocket. The GM30, by the way, solid option for a gaming mouse. Streamlined, but some fun RGB accents, sensitivity controls are well handled, and I'm kinda over mice with tons and tons of buttons. I just don't need that many macros. If there's anything I kinda wish we could add to this board, maybe a USB pass-through to daisy chain the mouse. That'd be kinda nice. That's far from a deal breaker, it's just, it's taking up an extra USB port on my desktop. Reiterating another smaller concern, I'm sure some folks out there would appreciate a little more hardware control for macros and profiles. But for 80 bucks, this is a well-built RGB keyboard with mechanical switches. So I think we're in really good territory for a gaming accessory like this. And the timing could not have been better for me needing to replace my older keyboard. I really like when we get to do the clicky. I know it's silly awkward for me to hold like this. I just don't have a desk that's conducive to shooting these kinds of accessories. I'll of course drop some links down below where you can find more information on the MSI GK50 Elite and maybe shop one of these online. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing these videos, and subscribing to the channel. Supporting your favorite content creators has never been more critical than it is today. So I hope you'll check out those links and the merch below, which help me not pack every video with baked-in ads and sponsorships. There's a support page on SomeGadgetGuy.com for a current list of all my affiliates and partnerships, or you might consider joining the list of names scrolling by from my Patreon. Those are super cool tech pals, pretty much the best people on the internet, so I hope you'll check them out. Now, you know where you can find me around the rest of the internet, at SomeGadgetGuy on the Twitters and the Twitch, and the Facebooks and the Instagrams. And I will catch you all on the next review.